Hare Krishna. Scripture breaks the hush hush about the failed project of sense enjoyment. Hush hush means that something which is not to be talked about, especially not to be talked aloud or publicly. And hush hush about the failed project of sense enjoyment means that sense enjoyment is the most glamorized form of enjoyment in the material world, and especially in today's culture, which is often described by sociologists as a hypersexualized culture, where sex is practically made into the center of everything. In such a culture, the glamorization of sex is incessant, and everybody's mind is wild with fantasies about sexual pleasure, and yet the actual pleasure just lasts for a few moments. The body's capacity to enjoy itself is limited, and once the body's capacity to enjoy is exhausted, there is no further enjoyment at all. No matter what fantasies one has, no matter what all one tries to do, the enjoyment ends once the body's capacity is over. And we may say that okay, the body's capacity will be replenished and one will be able to enjoy again, but the craving keeps tormenting, and the reality of the pleasure is is a pathetic anticlimax as compared to the fantasy that is depicted in the media and that is built in our mind. And yet, although everyone's experience of sense pleasure is utterly anticlimactic, still everybody thinks that, oh, maybe I am doing something wrong. Maybe if I just enjoy with some other partner, learn some new technique, get into some other position, do something different, then I do means pursue sense pleasure in a different way, then I'll get pleasure. But actually, whatever one does, the body's capacity is not going to be changed, and that itself keeps the pleasure inescapably limited. And further, we are spiritual beings, and physical sensations alone can never satisfy us. We need spiritual fulfillment, and because of the tininess and the foreignness. Foreignness means we are not physical creatures. We are more than physical creatures. So because of the tininess and the foreignness of sensual pleasure, the whole project of sense gratification is a failed project. And yet no one talks about this failure. Yet everyone is hush hush, and everyone is hearing others say that this pleasure is so wonderful, and everyone seconds the chorus, joins the chorus and says yes, it is wonderful, although in one's own experience it has been utterly anticlimactic. And in this way one keeps the wheels of illusion moving and keeps oneself within the reach of illusion. So scripture breaks this hush hush. When everybody is speaking, don't speak, and then somebody comes along and speaks loudly what is there to be spoken. There's the elephant is there in the room, and somebody speaks about the elephant. So scripture has the courage to break that hush hush. The Bhagavad Gita tells without any hesitation, na yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkhayo na yevate adyantavantah kaunteya na teshu ramate buddha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that samsparshaja bhoga, the pleasure that comes by the contact of the senses with the sense objects, is dukkhayonaya evate. It leads to misery. Adyantavantah kaunteya. It has a beginning and it has an end. It is temporary, and therefore nateshu ramate buddha. Wise person does not delight in it. Now the point of this verse is not to act as a spoil sport, depriving us of the pleasure that we want to enjoy. No, that's not the point. The point is that there is that by understanding that this pursuit is a doomed pursuit, we can wisely direct our search for happiness elsewhere. And that elsewhere is described in the Bhagavad Gita itself in the preceding and succeeding verses. How we are spiritual beings, and by practicing yoga and meditation and connecting with the supreme consciousness, Krishna, we can experience the highest happiness. So by breaking The hush hush about the fail, protect, project, or sense enjoyment, scripture shows us the way towards the supreme success of spiritual fulfillment. Thank you. Hare Krishna.